if the war in Middle East and Iran expanded and prolonged, so where or when China decide the line between diplomacy and taking some initiative or some military or security involvement?
Both U.S. and China wants to see this war ended, and then we also see Iran wants this war ended too. So there's a huge interest from U.S., from Iran, from Arab states. All want this war to be finished, and then there's a face issue. There's historical baggages. There's a different argument. We see Pakistan was involved as well, but when China involves, China carried the most weight because China is the largest economic power with this part of the world, largest trading nation with all the countries in that part of the world. So if China says, please stop, I think China, that kind of action is backed by the economic influence impact China has. China doesn't have to send soldiers, but China provides a lot of materials, China provides a lot of support, and China provides economic pipelines there, and the foreign exchange currency coming out of China, really support that part of the world. So I think China doesn't have to say we support, we're going to do militarily or we're going to do something. You just say, okay, please stop. Because otherwise, the trade will be impacted. That's a strong enough message I think China can give.
China has a very good involvement and development regarding economic with Iran and very strategic partnership they are.
Yeah.
So if China is not taking some security or military involvements, how can China accept or think to be a global power? Does it impact China to call himself a global power if they don't intervene or they don't use military forces?
No, China does not really use military forces internationally, but China itself has a huge defense capabilities. If you talk about military power, China is the largest navy force in the world, produce more ships than any other countries in the world. And then China has built up this strong deterrence that if any Chinese interest is violated, China has certainly a strong military power enough to achieve this deterrent status. So once that deterrent status has achieved, the rest is economic power. So China has the economic power backed by China's military power. So nobody going to fight with China militarily because they know they cannot win, they cannot fight, they're going to be lose-lose situation. So, but then the things remain. Peaceful competition is the economic power. So China has a huge economic power, and then that is going to make a lot of difference because militarily they don't have to, but economically they have a huge influence. And then it boils down the day, bread and butter and the livelihood of the people is really the key issues that